everyone, and welcome to another vlog. I'm gonna start off this vlog by sharing something that I've been meaning to mention, and it's the main thing that's on my mind right now, the main change that's going on in my life, and that is that I have wrapped up my project management contract. I decided to go ahead and end that on March 31st. There were a number of things that I thought about when making this decision. This is a really good job. It's my friend's company. I think the tasks are really aligned with my skill set. I'm just not feeling like I belong in the corporate world anymore. And I've really been wanting to focus more on my creative projects, my book mainly, but also other things. I'm not even sure what they are yet because I want to leave room for these creative ideas to come to me. And I found that I was very mentally invested in my project management job. And this is something that has always been kind of like a creative block of mine, is that I'm very hyper-focused on paid work. And having these two jobs, my project management job and my job at the writing studio, I knew at some point I'd have to let one of these go. The writing studio is more aligned with the direction that I want to head in terms of my creative pursuits. The environment is not a corporate environment. It doesn't feel like a corporate environment. There was a lot that went into the decision, but ultimately, even though it didn't take up a lot of time in terms of hours, it was really taking away my energy. So even though I had time at the end of the day, I mostly just wanted to sit on the couch and play games on my phone because I just didn't have the mental energy or even the physical energy to pursue my ideas. And I found that my ideas were not coming at the same rate that they were before, and I think a lot of that has to do with my focus on the paid work. So all of that to say, there was a lot that went into the decision, and I'm really happy that I made the decision, but it was bittersweet because I really did enjoy the team. They delivered a beautiful bouquet of flowers on my last day, huge bouquet of flowers, and they're still going strong. There are some that are a little droopy, but it's been a few days and the bouquet is still looking quite nice. It smelled amazing, and I'm just so grateful for my time there. I learned a lot. I learned a lot about myself as well and the type of work that I want to do, and that is a precious gift. And I'm really happy with my contribution to the team in the 2 years that I was there. I still can't believe I was there for 2 years. It seems like such a long time, but also such a short time. It felt like the right time, but it also felt very short. But looking back, I was like, wow, I spent 2 years doing this job, and it felt fast. Time is weird. I don't even know how to explain it. It is the long weekend and I am cozying up with Miss Lulu here on the couch. We are reading a book, and it's been a while since I've read popular fiction. This is a sci-fi book called Project Hail Mary, and it's by the same author as The Martian. I did read The Martian. I remember enjoying it, but this book so far has been very captivating. I'm only on, I think, chapter 4 or 5, so right at the beginning. Having not read fiction in a very long time, I miss that feeling of being caught up in a book and wanting to read it all the time. We are having a stretch of really beautiful weather here in Toronto. It's gorgeous out. It's actually nicer out in the afternoons, t-shirt weather, but this morning I am just running some errands, and then I hope to pop out again for a t-shirt walk this afternoon when it's in the 20s, 20 degrees Celsius, that is. I just got home from running errands and I thought I would show you what I picked up. I restocked on avocados. So Farm Boy has these little paper bags of avocados. There are 6 avocados in here, and this usually goes for $5 or $6, which is really good in downtown Toronto. These avocados are awesome. They're not teeny tiny like the ones that are in bags, and it's like an open bag, so I actually do look at them. I don't touch each one, but I look just to make sure it still has the nub on top and that it's not like all dried out and brown and crusty up here. because that's a sign that the inside of the avocado will be brown. I think we've only had one avocado out of the many bags that we've purchased that had a little bit of brown in it, but it was still edible. I also bought half of a papaya. I was buying cut up papaya, but they don't often have it, and the cut up papaya, I think the price has gone up, but this was only $2 and it lasts me like 2-3 days. I just cut it up and I put it in a bowl and I take a few pieces every single night until it's done. I like to squeeze lime on top, so I bought that as well. And then I popped into the dollar store because I needed more hydrogen peroxide, so I grabbed a bottle of that. And I saw that they had some planters, some of these clay pots. So I bought a big one, and I'm thinking I'll put my monstera in it. The pot itself was $4 and the base was $1.75. That is pretty much all I picked up on my walk, except I also got my free coffee from Timmy's. I got a 7-day streak a while back. I think this is coffee number 5 or 6 already. Hubby drinks the majority of this. I basically just have a sip, like usually around this much. I finished this book. I finished this on Monday night, I think. I even stayed up late to finish it because I was just so caught up in the book. Overall, it was like highly enjoyable, highly entertaining, and I would recommend it. It's a great read if you like sci-fi. I've just sat down for my first meal and I'm having overnight oats today. I actually made this with the intention that it would be my lunch yesterday, but I forgot that I had plans with a former colleague. So yesterday I went out for lunch with her and I am eating the overnight oats today. There are a couple of things I wanted to talk about, food related things. I enjoyed that tofu pocket eatery so much that hubby and I went on the weekend. We didn't go back to the same one that I went to with my friend because that one is actually only open on weekdays. So instead we went to a different location and it was just as good. That location was also a mini food court, interestingly enough, with the same hot dog place, the one that we hadn't tried before, the different brand name. Hubby wanted to try the hot dog, of course, so he got one of those as well, but I just wanted the tofu pockets. I had a bite of his hot dog and we both agree that we like chunchung a little bit better. It's because we like the volcano dog so much, and I think that must be a chunchung exclusive because we didn't see it at the other place or anything similar. We really love eating at home, so we got takeout and just heated them slightly in the microwave, and they were perfect. Not hot, but a little bit warm, very delicious. The other thing I wanted to talk about was my friend's birthday dinner. So we went to a fancy Chinese restaurant called Mimi. I had heard good things about it, but I really wasn't planning to go. So when our friends invited us for a birthday dinner, I was like, okay, yeah, let's try it. We weren't sure what to expect because you never know with fancy Chinese food because we eat so much good Chinese food that's not expensive. I really enjoyed it and thought it was something different but also traditional. Even after all of the Chinese food I've had throughout my life, I would definitely go back. In fact, I'm thinking maybe I want to have my birthday dinner at Mimi as well. I just really enjoyed it. Our friends came over afterwards and I had ordered a birthday cake for my friend. So she got to make another wish and then we shared the mango cake. That mango cake is fantastic. I'm gonna have my lunch now and then get back to it. I'm editing a video. I haven't recorded a proper video for the main channel in so long. I was quite busy in March wrapping up my project management job. All I had time for was my perfect hard-boiled egg video, which I happened to film on a whim, and I'm really glad I did, but I'm also very happy to be getting back to the topics that I'm really passionate about right now, which are mainly like self-compassion, self-love, self-care, that sort of thing. I am on my t-shirt walk, and not only am I wearing a t-shirt, I'm also wearing shorts. It's a beautiful day today. I just waited 3.5 hours to trade in an old Blue Jays jersey. I am so sweaty and I'm in such a foul mood right now. So there was this deal on Red Flag Deals that hubby saw. It was basically bring in any pro sports jersey, pay $15. It's a donation to the Jays Care Foundation, and you can get one of the current Nike Jays jerseys. We have lots of old sports jerseys that we don't really wear anymore, and this was like a really good chance for us to get something new, something different, something current. So since hubby was working, I was like, okay, maybe I could go, but I was kind of like undecided. I don't really like to wait in line. I don't really like crowds. I didn't want to wait by myself, but he seemed to really want to take advantage of the deal. So I was like, okay, I'll go. I'll bring my book. I'll just read. The event was supposed to start at 2, so I thought, okay, I'll go after lunch, get there around 1 o'clock, probably be in the front of the line or close to the front of the line, wait an hour. Maybe the swap would take like half an hour or so. So I get there as planned. It's baking hot. It's a beautiful day, but I don't do that well in the sun, so I tried to keep my back turned to the sun. I was reading my book just on my phone. Thankfully, I brought my battery pack because I was there much longer than expected. So 2 o'clock rolls around, nothing's happening. The front of the line isn't moving. I think it was like almost 3 o'clock by the time they let people in, and I had been waiting for 1.5 to 2 hours by then because I got there at 1. So I was like, well, I'm not gonna leave now because I was pretty close to the front, maybe like 30 or 40 people in front of me. I ended up getting my jersey just before 4:30. Oh my goodness, by that time I was ready to like burn the place down. I was so mad. I was still polite and civil, but I was having trouble. But I have the jersey now. I'm back at home. I think I'm gonna take a shower, have dinner. Oh, anyway, I got this bag, reusable bag. I was tempted to get more, but I was like, what am I gonna use this bag for? I have so many reusable bags, so I just got one. I had a pop because they were giving away cold drinks. I had my water, but I didn't want to drink too much because I didn't want to have to use the washroom. So I had a ginger ale while I was waiting for my jersey to get heat stamped with the name customized. I'm at a loss for words right now. I got the baby blue one. I got Guerrero Jr. It was neat watching them do it, and I had to get a large because they were out of medium and small, and I wanted the men's jersey so hubby could wear it too. What it looks like. So yeah, pretty big, but I like things oversized, so I guess it's fine. Hubby and I just came back from the Jays jersey swap. Yes, I went again, and this time we were near the front of the line, even though there was like quite the fiasco leading up to the start of the event. Hubby said he wished they were doing it again tomorrow so he could go again. Got our jerseys. Hubby was so happy. All of these new jerseys are really his because we traded in his old jerseys to get them. But I've claimed the ones that I waited in line for, and I think he's okay with that. We can share anyway because they're all big enough. So you would have seen the clip of me getting the Boba jersey, and we did get men's medium in both, which is great. Hubby chose Matt Chapman, and he's already worn this. So all in all, it was highly worth it. Hubby actually wanted to go back on Sunday, but they had sold out of the promotion, so they canceled Sunday, but he would have gone back. I don't know if I would have gone back. Spending 8.5 hours waiting in line over the span of 3 days is more than enough for me, but I'm glad we did it now that we have the jerseys and we've gotten rid of some old jerseys without having to donate them or to try to sell them. It has been a really nice couple of weeks of connecting with my friends. Because I knew I was going to be busy wrapping up my project management job, I deferred a lot of my get-togethers and Zoom calls and the like to April, and the past couple of weeks have been really nice, just catching up with people. I've had a lot of good food and I'm feeling satiated. I don't feel like I'm craving anything in particular. So I had a really light dinner of leftovers and just a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and now I'm having some apple slices with cinnamon. I did film a number of clips, but I didn't talk through them. So maybe I'll talk about them now. So this week in particular, my friend came over. She's the same friend where we went out to celebrate her birthday, and I was planning to get her a cake for when she came over, but because I bought her a cake already for her actual birthday day, I wasn't sure if she was going to come over, but she did, so we enjoyed the cake then. I decided to switch it up. What I did was I made a bunch of food. I wanted to do a take on Peking Duck Lettuce Wraps, but instead of making the duck, because roasted duck, I don't know how to make that. So instead I just used ground chicken. I added some finely chopped onion, carrots, and celery, and I added the seasonings, which is basically 5-spice powder and hoisin sauce, and I just like stir-fried that. Served it with iceberg lettuce cups, which are very difficult to take off of the head of lettuce. So this is probably why they charge so much at Chinese restaurants. I remember going with my family, we always run out of lettuce. When we ask for more, it's $2 a piece. So I remember when they told us that once, we were like, it's okay, and we never asked again. But now I know why they charge so much, because the lettuce that you get at the restaurants, it's like perfect. It's like a perfect little cup. And the ones that came off of the head of lettuce that I bought were very haphazard. Some were bigger than others, so I think the restaurants trim them to size, and they probably waste a lot of lettuce, or maybe they use it for something else. But because it was just like us eating at home, it's a really close friend of mine, I just like did all the bits of lettuce and it was fine. With the Peking duck dish, I also just sliced up some cucumber, some green onions, and I had some hoisin sauce to just like put into the lettuce wraps. Made some steamed rice. This was short grain rice. I also set out some seaweed, so instead of lettuce wraps, we could have some variety and do seaweed wraps. I wanted a bunch of Korean side dishes as well. I wanted to have like that feel to the meal. So I bought some kimchi, and I also bought some what they call preserved cucumbers, kind of like pickled cucumbers, but they were really, really sweet. So I don't think I would buy them again. They were almost like candy. I almost felt like I was eating cucumbers and fruit juice because they are so sweet. I really like the texture though. The crunch was really good. So if they were more savory soy saucy, I would like them a lot better. They're fine though. Hubby and I will definitely finish the jar. I made a couple of dishes though. I made some pickled daikon radish. I would make that again and again and again. It tastes exactly like what you get at the restaurants, and they're just fantastic. I'll leave the recipes down below. And I also made this potato dish. I think it's like a braised Korean potato dish, or like a pan-fried Korean potato dish. So good. Again, tastes just like the restaurant. I really loved this dish, and I would make it again as well because I'm a huge fan of potatoes. The last thing I made was like a Chinese style soup, and this had daikon radish and watercress in it. So we had a really nice long dinner and everything was delicious. My friend really enjoyed it, so I was happy. And then we shared a bunch of donuts. So good, so good. I'm normally just okay about fancy donuts. I always enjoy them, but I never crave them, and I find they're like quite expensive for what they are. But this place, Bloomers, I would go back and get these same flavors. I want to try other flavors as well. The donuts were just so light and fluffy. They are vegan donuts, and the flavors were really to my liking. So I got London Fog, maple walnut, and rose pistachio. Rose pistachio was definitely both my friend's favorite and my favorite. I'm gonna have a bite of apple. They're starting to rust, so. I've been having so much good food, so I had tons of leftovers from my friend coming over, and the next day hubby and I did a repeat of the same meal for lunch. Yesterday I went for dinner with another friend, and I took her to Little Sister, and we had a really nice meal. Everything was delicious. I really love that restaurant. I enjoy it very much every time I go. Instead of staying for dessert, we decided to go to bubble tea, and then we just came back here. Very satiated. I guess the flavors I've had in the past little while have hit like all of the different cravings that I have. The salty or savory cravings have been met, so that's a check. The vinegary cravings have been met, so that's a check. And the sweet cravings have been met, so that's a check. So that's why I don't really have anything in mind that I want to eat. The only thing is I do feel like very thirsty, which is why I've been having more fruits and vegetables, which is also nice. I'm pretty tuned in now to what my body wants in terms of food, after many years of practice and many years of being like, oh, well, I should eat this, and so I would restrict myself from eating chips or candy or cookies. But now if I want cookies or chips, I'll just have it, and then my body's satisfied and it will crave something else, like apples. So I enjoy apples as much as chips and cookies, because when I have an apple, it's because my body really wants that apple. So that's been like an interesting shift in the way I've been eating. No restriction in terms of what I'm actually eating. The only part is that I do still intermittent fast, or I do my best to, with a lot of exceptions, of course, because when I go out for dinner, it's not always possible to finish eating at 6, and I don't really care to anyway. But for the most part, I do intermittent fasting, and then the rest of the time I just listen to my body in terms of what it wants. So, is that all? I think those are all the clips I have to show you. The other catch-ups with my friends have been long Zoom chats, so nothing to share from those, but I do really love those conversations as well. I think that's gonna be it for this vlog. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!